Learn how to create your 90-day marketing calendar. We know the guilt associated with your job of trying to solve challenges for a demanding sales team that seems to expand exponentially every day. Today, we will share some expert time-saving tips, including how to keep your sales team happy while still achieving your own work-life balance, and how to cover your resource gaps and why you should prioritize collateral. We will walk you through some simple yet impactful ways you can build engagement programs that show results. You're probably thinking, why 90 days? We really find that 90 days is a reasonable time frame for most companies to put strategies in place to gain traction. It's not that overwhelming, and it gives you a realistic time to complete items. There are many things you could include in your calendar, but we've discovered that there are some fundamental items you will regularly want to include as part of your marketing objectives. This is a basic list, and we like these types of entries as they are all tangible and can be measured. You may want to include intangible items as well, such as industry opinion or market share improvement. We are not going to get into those details in this webinar, but happy to discuss with you directly if you need. We're going to make some suggestions along the way as you prepare your calendar. One of those tips is to be prepared to categorize your entries so that you can better track them. We're going to talk a bit about various types of marketing calendars, such as go-to-market or overall milestone planning calendar. But for now, let's focus on what you need to get started. Take time to create the messaging document. One of the best ways to cut down the need to rev collateral pieces and sales enablement tools is to work hard to get the upfront messaging right. What might seem to be a waste of time walking through the basics of a product or solution can actually save you days and weeks of work. Make time for a stakeholder review. How often do you actually involve all stakeholders? It's probably safe to say not too often, or maybe never. It is so much easier to develop your own plan, talk to a few people, and make assumptions that it will cover what is needed. You are the marketing expert, right? However, in order for success, buy-in content marketing needs to happen cross-functionally and at all levels. Your calendar requires a lot of forethought. Take the time to map these steps using either a table in Word or a spreadsheet. We like using spreadsheets so we can manipulate by count if necessary, but it's all up to you. First, put out your marketing plan for the next quarter and make sure you have your deadlines and lead times listed in it. Next, create a table of the items and events you want to track and align. Use a similar format for each item when you are listing them, such as for a webinar, the entry for the title would start webinar, then add the title here. Note, these entries may be from different departments, not just yours. Add columns for your most important dates next to each item, such as initial start, final due, runs, from X to X, results due. Create a category code or codes for the type of items. Use these consistently on all entries to the calendar and add to the column next to each item, such as webinar equals WB, email campaign equals EC, speaker opportunities equals SO, etc. Add a column for the name of responsible party or group of the entry. Add a column for the name of the integrated campaign if that applies. Now you're ready to populate your calendar. You will need to decide what type of marketing calendar you are designing. Are you simply tracking all entries and process across 90 days? Are you tracking the performance and activities involved in an integrated campaign? Are you planning a product or to go-to-market launch? Each of these are different calendars. Using the templates provided on the next couple of slides, select the right calendar for the job and enter the information you've gathered in your table. Extend segments across time to map to entry length. Use color coding to identify campaigns. Keep ordering as consistent as possible to make it easier to read. Identify and keep track of the important metrics your calendar can reflect. These should align to your marketing or company goals. Organize by categories, by campaigns, by products, or by a specific metric. Once you've created your calendar, it's time to share it with your team and other contributors. Let anyone involved watch the results over time. People who see results of their work as part of the greater objective are much more motivated to maintain their deliverables and deadlines. Adjust the calendar to reflect your team's priorities. If the goal is to meet a hard deadline, stick to it. However, if the goal is to meet a certain number of prospects, be prepared to move your entry extension forward or backwards. Be prepared to adjust your calendar at any time. When depending on team members to complete projects, there are inevitably schedule and deadline changes. If you face hard deadlines, make sure your calendar deadlines give you enough buffer time to accommodate any last-minute delays. Marketing programs change regularly. We all know that. By managing to a calendar in a template, you can easily copy and paste entries to different dates and timelines without disturbing existing campaigns and entries. You should know your metrics for marketing performance, something you will capture in your marketing plan. Be sure to organize your calendar in a way that you can easily measure against those metrics at any time. While it may feel like a lot of busy work to keep the calendar updated, you'll be much happier if you have the right information at your fingertips when your VP or executive asks for the status and results at any time. Keep track of your important metrics by monitoring and collecting results by week, month, or quarter. Keep your results attached to your calendars by links or by tab. Link your entry titles to actual documents for reference. Retire completed entries or campaigns by graying them out or making them a more transparent color if you want to retain campaign differentiation. You don't want to remove them as they are part of your metrics for that time period. Follow your 90-day calendar by a name that reflects the date of the period and use that name consistently so you can easily go back and find previous periods. If using a spreadsheet, consider using tabs for ongoing 90-day periods. The content and execution calendar is probably the most common marketing calendar. This 90-day calendar enables you to plot activities and deliverables within a current period and can be extended for additional periods. Keep track of metrics or meeting deadlines, achieving certain goals. The integrated marketing calendar is a 90-day calendar that maps all the activities relevant to specific campaigns, particularly when they cross departments, teams, and channels. Keep track of metrics per campaign. The go-to-market overall planning calendar is also a 90-day that you can plot plans, not activities, to give you a visual of when you'll be ready to begin activities. This is great for go-to-market planning or a one-time launch plan. Here's an example of content and tools execution. As you can see here, we have 90 days, in this case, January, February, March, and key categories such as process focus, sales focus, customer focus, and market focus. This gives executives and also your business teams a good snapshot of what is going to happen and when. In the integrated marketing campaigns calendar like this, you can focus narrowly on the elements required to drive certain performance metrics for the campaign, which are shown at the top under goals. This calendar is great when you have various teams and contributors working collaboratively to reach a campaign goal. If the goal is to reach a certain number of leads, you can plot everyone in a sequenced way, all focused around the same messaging and objectives, but through various channels. This is mostly an overview. You would likely want to build out this a little bit more by roles and deadlines. In a go-to-market or launch calendar, you'll want to focus on a timeline. There's likely one hard deadline that everyone is focused on, such as a launch date. In this type of a calendar, we recommend that you have an underlying activities calendar supporting this time frame, where you can map and monitor all the detailed actions you will need to take, along with monitoring dates of completion. By linking this type of timeline to an actual activities calendar, you can easily update this timeline at any time for the reporting purposes. So in summary, use these 4 actions as your guidelines when creating your calendars. We fully believe that your marketing calendars can be a blueprint to success, as well as your proof to stakeholders and management of linking material actions to company goals. One note we didn't bring up earlier, but it's important to note that there is a lot of automation that is out there as well that you can leverage when building your calendars. We always like to caution folks when building automation into their calendar management that unless you have the baseline, the fundamentals mapped and bought off on in terms of how you're going to plan for success, automation and tools are just that. They're just tools. You have to adopt this great practice, and there's the human element that is critical to making this successful. If you have any questions, we are here to help. Exact Market is a full-service product, project management, content, alliance, channel, and program agency positioned to help you with any resource gaps or just maybe getting the ball rolling. Please contact us at sales@exactmarket.com with any questions. Thank you.